Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls and gifted animals, I am Gary from Rock Solid Productions, and you are watching the slap happy, the amazing, the incomparable JLuv81. Slap that like button!
Hey everybody, it's your girl JLuv81. What's up guys? Today we are going to do a room tour for 2019. This is a brand new room, so it looks different than last year's, and we're also gonna show how much my collection has grown throughout 1 year. So let's get started. So we walk in and this is what you see. This is the love seat that I sit on, and actually has a pull-out bed too, and there's my solid Nate pillow, as you could see, and my awesome headrests that Linda, gamer girl, gave me that I had no idea what they were. I thought they were little pillows. So we'll start where I film. You guys don't see this side. There's the tripod. I use a little book stand too. That's my Super Mario Encyclopedia book. And here's pretty much my setup. There is my light that I use. Obviously, softbox light. We'll start with here. We have figures. Look at this. We have Pokemon that actually came from Die Hard. I had this since I was little girl. I'm a Toys R Us kid, Jeffrey. Fraggle Rock, guys. Wimbley and Gobo, my favorite Fraggles. So you got Fraggle Rock and of course Alvin from Alvin and the Chipmunks. This, my PXP. This is like a ghetto version of a little retro gaming system. It doesn't work all that great though, I gotta tell you that. And then here, up here, you have my RetroPie that a friend of mine did for me, designed to look like an NES. And you actually open it up and plug in your USB ports in there, controllers and whatnot. And then you got some PS3 controllers, my box, Xbox 360. And these are display boxes that I got from a friend that just finds these and then just gives them away. Wolfenstein 2, Destiny 2, and the Xbox One box that I have. My Xbox One is in the living room. My PS4 is in the living room, and so is my Switch, my Nintendo Switch, and my Xbox One. Those are the only consoles I have in there, plus my Super Retro Trio Plus. You got my little Ninja Turtle figures hung up. A friend of mine found this. I thought that was pretty cool, so I hung that up. So that is a Mario 64 keychain. Guys, what about this? I've had this since I was a kid. This is my NES Advantage. And some awesome posters. The NES Classic Edition came from T-Belly. This is the very first Nintendo Power. I got this at Retro World, which I think is pretty cool. And I also got him from Retro World, my favorite Ninja Turtle Michelangelo, pixelated. So it is so cool to have the perler bead of this. I wanted to get them all, but they were $30 each. And I was like, My Super Mario Brothers poster. Sarah, I got you. My friend Sarah made me this. And then what's awesome about these up here is my 8-bit figures. So my 8-bit figures are all up here displayed, which I think are pretty cool. They're actually my favorite. So I love 8-bit figures. So we got Donkey Kong. We got the white and the red Link. So I put that up there. These are puzzles. Linda actually made me these puzzles. And I have no patience to do these pieces. I look at those pieces and I get overwhelmed. That is definitely my favorite. And then you come up here and you have these, which I thought is pretty cool. And then of course, behind the softbox light, There you go, Dan. You had asked for this. I got this from one of the Nintendo Power magazines. I know it was one of the Nintendo magazines for sure. Thank you, Mario, but our princess is in another castle. Classic. So, before we go on to this wall, which is next to this, we got the Now You're Playing with Power. That came with the SNES Classic. This came from Sarah. She did such a good job. I love these perler beads. They're freaking awesome. The Mario Odyssey poster that GameStop gave if you pre-ordered your Mario Odyssey game. Here, we'll go with my systems. So, we have, you like that? There's my turtles. We got the PlayStation 1. We got the PlayStation 2. Here we got the fat model PS3. And the slim model PS3. Now the fat model I got first, and of course being backward compatible, of course I got that right away. And then of course, being that there was lack of memory, I had to get another one, so I got a slim model. We got the Xbox 360. The OG Xbox. That was one of my favorite systems. And then we got the Wii. We got my two little mini classics, the SNES Classic and the NES Classic. The NES Classic I hacked. So there's like 90 something games in there. At the time, I didn't know you could put more on there and I didn't want to take the risk. The SNES Classic I did not hack, and that's because I have a RetroPie. So in this corner, I just have more figures. These Disney characters, I actually had another one. I don't know what happened to them. I think I had Mickey. But you put batteries in their butts, turn them on, and then the music, they start dancing. So that's what these things used to do. Whether they still do that or not, I don't think so. But regardless, I have these still from my childhood. We got some Kermit the Frog and Animal. Captain, you know why I think of you with him. And over here we got the Wii U. I love the Wii U. I thought it was an awesome console. Up here is 8-bit controller. It's a Bluetooth compatibility. I use this for my emulation games. I think this is a neat controller. It's so comfortable. When I play on my tablet, you could play on PC or your Nintendo Switch. So, over here is my Super Retro Trio Plus. You can play NES games, Sega Genesis slot, Super Nintendo, NES, Super Famicom, and it comes with its own controllers, or you could pretty much use the old school controllers. So you got the NES port here, Super Nintendo port, and the Sega Genesis. So I like that a lot. And then here's my Pro controller for the Wii U. And my PlayStation Classic. I still have yet to hack. And back here, we have my Grand Theft Auto poster. Crash Bandicoot Insane Trilogy poster. And we got all my gamer hats hung up here on this wall, which I really like the look of that. And then down here, Dan, Mega Dan 29, and his wife, Mrs. Mega Meg, who got me this cool Nintendo shelf, old school. So I utilize this. I actually put controllers in here. And then of course I have my Mario, my Care Bears. I got a lot of figures. More controllers. And then here, some Ninja Turtle cartoons that Richard W. got me. And the Super Mario Bros. Super Show DVD set. So, okay, so this is just a random 4-disc set, but regardless, I love that cartoon. I used to watch that religiously as a kid, eating Nintendo Power cereal.
Hey, paisanos, it's the Super Mario Brothers Super Show.
This is the power pad in the box. So here is the power pad. I haven't used it yet and I don't intend to, but I thought that was pretty cool to have. Over here we got the old school TV. So we got the boob tube with my Brawler 64 game pads, the boxes, the regular and the red. Of course you got Cappy. So there you go, look up here. Like I said, I have the 8-bit figures, curtains, and my Micro Machine. My little Hot Wheels. That's what these are. So these are my little Hot Wheels. And I love the fact that they represent the old school. But you guys should know me by now. I got the Mario Kart. I am such an old school person. I love it. Anything Mario. And then of course, matching the curtains, I got this custom made lamp from Etsy, the lampshade. But the lamp itself, NES Addict made me. So this was made by my boy Jay, NES Addict. Thank you so much, Jay. Rob the Robot. I had him since I was little. He came with the very first NES system I've owned. And throughout the years, I lost his claws, unfortunately, and his parts. So that really upsets me. I got the Wii U display. My Ninja Turtle dolls. Love the Ninja Turtles. Up here, we got, my sister got me this one. I thought that was pretty neat. This is weird. I got this from a store called Weird Entertainment. And he pretty much says in Spanish, excuse me, can you let me out of here? He says it in Spanish. And it's like supposed to be like a gimmick. I got that at a store. And the store was similar to Spencer's. So it was weird things. I don't know, it cracked me up. And then the lamp itself, my sister gave me too. So I thought that was pretty neat. So here we got the Dreamcast given by my boy, New Batman. I appreciate that. And we got the Super Famicom that was given to me by one of my buddies, BP Retro Power. I highly appreciate that. My original Super Nintendo that's seen better days, but I've had this thing since I was about 10, 11 years old, and we moved a lot since I was young. So it took a beating, unfortunately, but it still works. And then the OG NES, my original NES since I was little, I still use it. And then usually like I put a figure. You see how like it still blinks? It probably needs new pins, but check it. I put a figure in there, push it down, and it usually doesn't give me a hard time. But I usually put a figure in here and press it down and it plays fine. But I have a brand new one in the box in case I need it. Here we got, moving along. We got the Gamecube, my original Gamecube, one of my favorite systems. I love the little tiny discs too, so awesome. We got Model 1 Sega Genesis. And we got the Sega Pico. We'll have to look more into this Pico. Okay, so this is the Sega Pico. This came out, I want to say in the early 90s. My sister had this, which I thought was pretty cool. So technically I never did, but I did play with it back then. And you pretty much plug it into your TV. There. And you put the cartridge, it has cartridge based like little booklets that you put in here. And you open it up and it's like a click and play kind of thing. And it shows up on the TV. So I thought that was pretty neat. So that's what it looks like. So these are pretty much the cartridges that go into the Sega Pico, and that's pretty much what they look like. So each page actually shows up on the big screen, and it's a lot of fun. Like you help them out. It's just like a talk and play, which I'm going to show you next. This is a talk and play. I've had this since I was about maybe 6, and you have books that you place up here, which I'll show you. So let's get the book out first. So this is an example. I have a whole bunch of these. I've had this since I was extremely small. Alvin and the Chipmunks, I'm still a big fan. The old school Alvin and the Chipmunks, of course. And you put the cassette here that it comes with. You press play. It pretty much reads you the story of what's happening, and then it gives you options of who you want to choose to do whatever task it asks. So you got the green, yellow, it interacts with the cassette, which is pretty cool. So it's like you make the story the way you want. You got to pick the correct answers, and that's how a talk and play pretty much works. Model 2 Sega Genesis. And we got the Nintendo 64 down here. And then Nintendo 64 stand for your cartridges. But I have all my Game Gear and Game Boy games in here. Game Boy Color, but my childhood games. Sonic the Hedgehog. I got Alleyway is a good game on the Game Boy. I grew up with Alleyway. You know, obviously Super Mario Land. Baseball on the Game Boy. So these are some pretty decent games. Columns, Sonic Chaos, Sonic 2. Look, we even got Chuck Rock. This is a good game. I thought this was a lot of fun, the baseball. So it's Batter Up on the Game Gear. Columns, another good game that I grew up with playing. Okay. Moving to this side. Okay. We'll start with up here. Up here, we got my Amiibo figures. And my Kirby. I got them from Southeast Game Exchange Convention. Boxed NES Classic Edition. The box to my PS4. And a Wii U box. I actually have the black version. My 3DS box. But yes, here are my figures up here. I don't have too many Amiibos. I only collect the ones that I like the most. So I do have to get Bayonetta. I got to get a couple more. Lil Mac. Kirby came from NES Attic. Lil Mac came from TechWiz. So shout out to TechWiz. We got Dr. Mario back there. Chibi Robo. I love Chibi Robo so much. So these figures mean a lot to me. There's more where that came from up this way. Up this way we have more. You got the Spyro figure, the Sonic the Hedgehog figure. T-Belly gave me the Silver Mario. So thank you, my boy T-Belly. And another box Dr. Mario figure. I actually won that from World of Nintendo, a YouTuber, in a contest giveaway. And then we got the Now You're Playing with Power poster. One of my favorite posters of all times. That just brings me back to my childhood. This is back when I first got the NES. Of course, we got the Avgn movie poster signed by James Rolfe himself. Mike Matei. Bootsy. I had him sign this as well. Now, Kyle is the original songwriter, guitar player for the original soundtrack and the beginning of the Avgn theme song. And then you got the Luigi's Mansion poster and a Switch bag, all from T-Belly. So we'll move backwards. We'll come up here. So we got the box Ghost Light. You'll see the Ghost Light in a minute. Nintendo. I got this from Nintendo World at the time. That's what it was called, but it is now Nintendo New York. So we got the Dominoes. Random things I've kept from birthday parties. Pac-Man doll. Got a weakness for Pac-Man. The old school Lunchbox. And other box stuff that I collected. So you got my box PS3. Xbox One. And Super Retro Trio Plus. My favorite system. That is a system that I use whenever I play NES, SNES, and Sega Genesis games. I play in my living room and I stream it from this. So I got this from Castlemania Games, winning one of these in a giveaway, and it came with Joe and Mac. Way on the top up here I got this at Nintendo New York. At the time it was World of Nintendo, so you got my little Micro Sizers Mario Kart. And I keep all my badges from all the conventions. So I think these are pretty neat. Too many games we have. I've had Retro World, which is this one. Too Many Games. We got a couple of Too Many Games, and this is Southeast Game Exchange. So I always keep that for memories. Now, here is my obsession. These figures, guys. I've been collecting these figures since I was 6, 7 years old. And as you could tell, these are the old school Mario figures. Look at the colors. Back when he had red overalls, Luigi had the green overalls. So that's what they look like back then. Old school princess. They didn't know what to do with her. Now Bowser, I ripped them from I used to have the trophy. the Nintendo trophies, and I was little. I didn't know any better. I wanted to play with him. So he actually was holding the hole in his hand. He was holding a small princess, and I lost her too, which sucks. But, you know, I can't help what I did as a kid. Trust me when I tell you, I regret it. We got my little angry pal right here. I love Goombas. They're so awesome. We even, if you notice back here, we got some McDonald figures from back in the day and today, which is pretty cool. So I'm going to show you these. We got Bowser and his enemies right here. So there we go. Different Yoshis. We got Cat Mario back there, baby Yoshi. So yeah, look at that. We got Toad. So yeah, talk about collecting. Ice Mario, Firepower Mario, Mario Odyssey, Dr. Mario back here. So that this is definitely a variety. I got this at Too Many Games, which is a sculpture. So I thought that was cute. I love Piranha Plant. I got a red Piranha Plant and a green Piranha Plant. And then you got the dry bone looking one. And here's some more figures. So we got the Mario Kart figures. These guys are old school too. This is the original Legend of Zelda Link back when I was little. So this is 80s. And Little Mac and King Hippo that I've had since I was very little. And some more figures. Same thing here. The Link came from a trophy that I ripped out because I wanted to play with him too. We got some mystery boxes, the gift boxes that Walmart was selling back here. The Mario, the Super NES, Game Boy, and the Super Mario. Some more figures. Scrooge McDuck. Wind Waker Captain. And these things here, back here. We got Samus, and these things back here are from the McDonald's toys. Here. Yes, that is my Stay Puft Marshmallow Man. These are figures you're going to see from my childhood. Ninja Turtles, all kinds. Look at that. Bartman, some Star Wars, some, oh man, do you guys remember this from when we were kids? They transform. You got his little legs and feet. Yeah, these are little monsters. We got the Ren and Stimpy figures, some more McDonald toys. And the OG Ninja Turtles, the way I liked how they looked back then. Got some California raisins going on, some Fraggle Rock from McDonald's, Beetlejuice, and Dick Tracy, which I think is pretty cool. And then we just got a random ninja hanging out. Here we go. Here we have some more figures from my childhood. So we got some little cavemen, Smurfs, which I thought are pretty awesome. These are all from my childhood. Muppet Babies. I miss that show so much. We got the Jetsons family right here. I used to have Rosie the robot. I don't know what happened to her though. Mickey Mouse. So we got some figures you guys should recognize. The Snorks. We got Flintstone Kids. You guys remember that. Peanuts over here. Old school E.T. Some Tasmania. So we got some Disney characters. Chip and Dale. Scooby-Doo. Look at the Fry Guy. McDonald's guys. Little potato head kids, if you guys remember. So just random figures. Lax Action Hero. I love this movie. So I got the figures. The kid and Arnold Schwarzenegger, of course. Look like a JLuv slap to me. And then this is when it gets crazy. My brother gave me all of these. These are all Skylanders. All Skylanders. It belonged to my nieces, and then they didn't want them anymore. I guess they outgrew them. They're at that age. And your girl JLuv81 will, of course, as a collector, take them. So we got some cool figures. And we got some more Skylanders here. As well as some turtles. Here, Light Bright, OG, and some perler beads that a friend of mine had made, a coworker. Some more stuff. This is OK Chief perler beads. John Riggs actually gave me him, and it came with a OK Chief game. OK Chief is a YouTuber that I do watch, so I will show you that soon. Some random stuff. Yes, guys, this is my original Macaulay Culkin doll, Home Alone, with the string in the back, but he sounds scary, and so does Pee Wee Herman now. This robot I had since I was a kid, he had a tray and you controlled him with a remote control, and he was like, oops, excuse me, when he banged into things. And yeah, still have him. This, oh man, guys. So we got a little, you do this, one of these things, and it bounces into there. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't, but it's pretty loud when you turn it on and annoying. So I try not to turn it on.
So, you want to play bullseye ball?
Too damn loud.
Target faster. The high 30-second blitz. The high score is 12. Put up.
Okay, so enough of that. Yes, this is Alf, and he is also a puppet dressed like Bruce Springsteen from the 80s, Born to Rock. So he is a puppet. You put your hand up his, you know what, and then just puppet away. That is Casey the robot. You put a cartridge in his belly, and he reads along. His face shows up. You press his bow tie. He starts talking to you. His face shows up here, and he reads along. Yes. Yes, I like things like that back in the 80s. Yes, guys, Tron and Pac-Man. I've had these since I was maybe 6. There was no handhelds at the time, and we had a trip to Florida, a family trip. I use these. They go through batteries like no tomorrow. So these take C batteries. So I definitely got to place the batteries in here. It's not working currently, but there's batteries in this one. This came out in like 1982. My brother got this for me. Actually, wrong, look, 1981. So this is how it looks. This is old right here. 1981, guys, my birth year. And I've had this since then, thanks to my brother. You gotta pretty much, that's not how you play, but. And then you got Speak and Math and Speak and Spell. How freaking, do you guys remember Speak and Spell? We'll have to look into that. These guys came out in the 70s. There's 3 of them. There is Speak and Math, Speak and Spell, and Speak and Read. I don't have to Speak and Read. I think it's yellow. But I've had these since I was a kid. I don't have batteries for this one, but it works like a charm and helps you with math problems, multiplication, division, all that stuff. Speak and Spell, I've had this the longest, which is a lot of fun. And then it pretty much, you have to spell things, or it teaches you how to pronounce things. Not that, he sounds a little scary. Listen, watch this.
Say it. 6. Say it. 9. Say it. 5.
It's just,
Say it.
he sounds a little bit funny.
10.
The next thing I want to talk about is my Fisher-Price record player. I've had this since I was about maybe 6, 7. So this is definitely old. I've, thank God, managed to keep this. And that's pretty much what it looked like. You control the volume. It has a plug underneath it, so you plug it in. And one of the last records I listened to is in here. It's Fraggle Rock. So it's pretty funny because you have like theme songs. You also have stories that you could listen to and stuff like that. And yeah, I still have it. Then we got some handhelds. We got Game & Watch. I've had that since I was very little. Some Amiibos here. And some color Game Boys. So we got some Game Boy Color. The only one I'm missing is Grape. I have the... what is this? Atomic Purple, Teal, Berry. One of the OG ones back there. And of course, Mario. I lost his hat, but I've had him since forever. That is an old Mario, as you could tell by the way he looks. Some more back here. We got actually a Zelda canteen back there. Miss Pac-Man Tiny Arcade hanging up there. Yellow, lime green, and the OG Game Boy from when I was little. Game Boy Advance, the Game Boy SP, 2 tiny Street Fighter figures, Ryu and Ken. Game Boy Pocket, I just got this baby a couple weeks ago. Home Alone 2 handheld that I got from Captain Retro at Southeast Game Exchange last year. We got the DS and the 3DS. Back here, Sega Game Gear. I love that system. Works like a charm still. I have the power pack. Gigapet. Yes. This was actually my sister's. Good thing I took it because it wouldn't be around if I didn't. Back here is the old school champion football game. This thing looks hilarious if you try to play it now, but yeah. So that's pretty much this wall, what that looks like, guys. And then as you can see, this is where I park my behind, and then you got the game shelf behind me, which is what I'm sure you're interested in. Okay, so moving right along are the games. So we'll start from the top, okay, guys? So that is a complete in box Nintendo Entertainment System. New pins. Here, thanks to my boy Josias, my very first Famicom game. So Kid Dracula, I streamed that a couple weeks ago, loved it. Tough game, but I really enjoyed it. So I'm definitely gonna collect more for the Famicom because he also got me the adapter. This is the Joe and Mac Ultimate Caveman Collection. That came with my Super Retro Trio Plus. Of course, we got the Sega Genesis Game Genie. Your player too, my boy Josh's logo. We got a Mario Coaster. Up here, this is the Goonies on the NES. That's the very first Goonies. We did not have that. We only have the Goonies 2. So this is actually from Japan. It was only released on the Famicom, and of course, they make them for us to play here now in North America. So I grabbed that from Too Many Games, as well as this hack Zelda Outlands. I'll show you this in a minute, which is signed and autographed by James Ralph Avgn and Mike Matei. Super Nintendo Game Genie and NES Game Genie hanging out here, along with the box Super NES. So we have Super Nintendo box, and we have the NES Classic Edition and SNES Classic Edition boxes. My favorite Super Mario cereal, the one with the amiibo, and then the other variation, which I think is pretty cool. The colors are pretty. So that is sealed cereal. Moving down. Complete in box Super Mario Brothers 2. Thanks to my boy Megadan29, he thought of me. That is something that is near and dear to my heart from my childhood. So to get the complete in box, the manual and everything meant so much to me. I love that game so much. The Famicom adapter sits right here, as well as the Super Game Boy, where I can play my, as look, Wario Land for T-Belly. I could play my Game Boy games. E.T. for the Atari, signed by James Ralph Avgn. So because of his movie, if you guys seen his movie, you guys will know why I made him sign that. This is definitely one of my favorites. From Southeast Game Exchange of last year, Chris Video Game Dust Sleeves made this sleeve with some YouTubers that attended, some of my friends. See, Back in the Day Gamer, Generation Gap Gaming. This was Captain Retro, NES Addict, Megadan29, Nostalgic Numbnuts, Video Game Lover 58, and Your Player 2. So this is some with the signatures in the back, which I thought was freaking awesome. We even got Shady J from the Game Chaser signing this. So we're gonna do another one this year, 2019. And Super Mario Brothers Adventure hack that I got from my boy Brandon BP Retro Power. Star Wars Complete in Box NES. I just got that from Flea Market. And then back behind that is the PlayStation Classic Nintendo Switch box. Super Mario Brothers Lunchbox. This is from my childhood, guys. I will be talking about this in a minute. One of my favorites, the Mario Lunchbox. I had this in 2nd grade, and I just got it back maybe about a couple months ago to a year. So the cool thing about it is it actually comes with the old school that you don't see anymore thermos. Who remembers these babies? Soup, your juice. How freaking cool is that? I love things like this. Jay, NES Addict, you appreciate that. I know you have one too. Complete NES cleaning kit for the NES. NES Addict gave me this. This is the classic, the NES Classic carrying case. I love it. I love the color so much. Okay, so from the very top, we got some Nintendo 64 games and custom sleeves from Video Game Dust Sleeves, the box Joe and Mac. Super Mario 64 complete in box thanks to my boy Die Hard. Let us also not forget Zelda Ocarina of Time and Majora's Mask. Of course, Mario 64. Some of my favorites, GoldenEye 007. We got the Mario Kart 64. I mean, this is my straight up childhood. One of my favorite games that nobody really talks about though, right here. Diddy Kong Racing. I love that game so much. Oh, and the Cruis'n USA, I actually enjoyed that as well. This in here is the Mega Mario World hack. So I love this game. It honestly probably is my favorite hack besides Mario 3 so far. So if you like Mario World, I definitely picked this up. This is a freaking gem. All right, so we got the Mario Red JLuv81 with the hack, and you guys could tell I love hacks. Brutal Mario, so red and red. My figures I got from Too Many Games, which I think is pretty cool. So they're from Japan. They're Japanese, and they're the old school figures. Old school Mario, old school Link, along with my pin. We got a Paul Mega Retro Man, Paul Tessie's sleeve, custom-made sleeve, which in this sleeve we have True Lies. I actually picked this up from Southeast Game Exchange last year. So you have his accomplishments, which I think is pretty cool, and his signature. And Luigi JLuv81 sleeve with the Luigi hack. So this is Luigi and the Island of Mystery that I'm currently playing now. Tough game, but the cart's pretty cool. And here's some Super Nintendo games. SimCity, I grew up playing. Street Fighter 2. NBA Jam Tournament Edition. Mario is missing. That's how I feel about that. The Home Alone series, Home Alone 1 and 2. I actually like those games. F-Zero. I love F-Zero. I wish they'd bring it back. Donkey Kong Country series. Aladdin, Contra 3, Castlevania 4, brilliant game, I love it. And of course we have Battletoads Double Dragon that I've never beaten in my life, Batman Returns. But my all-time favorite game would be right here, Super Mario World. Then we have the hacked Super Mario World Return of Dinosaur Land. Freaking another great hack. Super Metroid, Mario Kart of course, Super Mario All-Stars, Super Adventure Island. I love that game. This we did not get here in North America either. This is Back to the Future 2. And Chris Video Game Dust Sleeves made me this sleeve, so I thought that was freaking awesome. This is a fun game. If you're a Back to the Future fan, I definitely recommend it. Got that at Too Many Games. Custom made sleeves, Phil Twerpin. We have a Situation sleeve, Die Hard Gamer Bros. Oh, by the way, let's not forget The Legend of Zelda: Link to the Past. Zombies Ate My Neighbor came from my boy Mike. Turtles 4. Definitely my favorite Turtles game of all time. We got the Megadan 29 exclusive sleeve. So we got Beavis and Butthead. Dick Tracy. Moonwalker. That came from NES Addict. Some Pixels, Road Rash. Here's some more loose carts for the Sega Genesis. So you got Sonic and Knuckles here. We got Jungle Strike, Animaniacs, the Echo the Dolphins. I have Aladdin. Of course, you have Contra Hardcore. Miss Pac-Man, one of my favorites here. These are all custom sleeves that Chris made. So Hyperstone Heist is there. This is a hack that I really, really enjoyed. So it's TMNT and Streets of Rage 2. That's a lot of fun. I recommend it if you like hacked. So here are some of my Quack Shots. Actually a lot of fun too. Rocket Knight Adventures. Vector Man. Thank you, Video Game Lover 58. X-Men. And some of my, we'll skip over here really quick. These are my complete in box games. So the 6-packs Genesis collection, I recommend for beginners. Aladdin on the Sega Genesis. Altered Beast, that's what I grew up playing. Castlevania Bloodlines, this came from NES Attic. I truly appreciate it. So this is a lot of fun. I highly recommend it if you're a Castlevania fan. NBA Live 98. Mortal Kombat and Mortal Kombat 2. Shaq Fu. Revenge of Shinobi. Sonic, Sonic 2. And Tasmania. NBA Jam, I just picked that up. I have so much fun in The Lion King, which I absolutely suck for both Sega and Super Nintendo. Moving right along to GameCube games, guys. Here we go. Chibi Robo. Burnout, my first Burnout game. I love this series, so I have all the Burnouts. F-Zero GX, I do miss F-Zero so much. Dark Summit, guys, this game's not talked about. I had such a good time playing this game. So it's kind of like if you like snowboarding and completing missions too. So there you go. You guys are trying to figure out what is going on. And we're pretty much like secret agents or something like that. So I thought that was pretty cool. Luigi's Mansion, definitely one of my favorites. Knockout Kings, that was so much fun. I love that. Mario Party 5, 6, and 7, missing 4. 4 is probably my favorite. Mario Superstar Baseball, this game is so much fun. I played this religiously when it first came out. If you're a baseball fan and a Mario fan, this is a blockbuster case, which has GameCube Metal Gear Solid, the Twin Snakes. So it does not have the manual, but this is so nostalgic. I love it. You got the Metroid Prime Need for Speed Underground series. Paper Mario Thousand Year Door. I love this game. And the Resident Evil Zeros, Resident Evil 4, this is what I grew up playing. I rented this game all the time from Blockbuster. Sonic Mega Collection. Then you have Sonic Adventure 2. This game was awesome. I enjoyed this game. I don't know what people's problem was. I personally do like 2D Sonic better, but this was freaking epic. Spyro. This right here, obviously, is an Xbox case. And my boy Chris, Video Game Dust Sleeves, made me an insert, which I thought was pretty neat. Which is Finks and the Mummy. Spider-Man Street. I love playing Streets. Street 1 and Street 2. So this game's a lot of fun if you're a basketball fan. I like playing these games better than the NBA Live games. But NBA Jam is also my favorite. Mario Sunshine. Smash Brothers Melee. So we got the Star Wars Legend of Zelda Collector's Edition. This is a great thing to have. So I remember getting this. I don't remember if it was because of Nintendo Power or whatnot, but it has Legend of Zelda, Zelda 2 Adventures of Link, Ocarina of Time, and Majora's Mask. So this is awesome to have. All in one disc. Then we have Captain Algebra's favorite, Wind Waker. Let's just get a picture of Captain's favorite part right here is the boat. There you go, Captain. Twilight Princess SpongeBob. This game's pretty neat too. I enjoyed it. So this is from the TMNT. I think it was 2007 animation, the movie, and I really enjoyed it. And the game is just as good. So I had a good time playing this. True Crime Streets of LA. So the True Crime series I really like a lot. Tony Hawk Underground 2 and American Wasteland, and the original. 2 is my favorite because of the jackass guys that are in there. And yeah, this one actually, Wave Race, one of my first GameCube games. And I thought it was pretty cool. Graphics were epic for its time. This is a box NES game. So my first box NES game, Yoshi. Alright, so we got Alone in the Dark, which was awesome. I remember getting that game, probably one of my first games on the PlayStation 3. The Assassin's Creed series, I still personally like 1, 2, and 3 the best. And the Batman Arkham series, I like Arkham Asylum. This one's my favorite. Arkham City comes in second to me. Brutal Legend with Jack Black. Guys, I recommend this game. It's a lot of fun. So that's Brutal Legend. Burnout Paradise. Blur. Blur is almost like a really fast-paced Mario Kart. You use weapons and try to shoot each other and stuff like that. The Call of Duty series. You can tell I'm a Call of Duty fan. You also got Cars 2 and 3. I play those with my nephews. Def Jam Icon. My least favorite Def Jam series. I like Vendetta and Fight for New York better. The DJ Hero series. Fight Night Champion. That was such a good game. If you like boxing. God of War. God of War Collection, which is God of War 1 and 2. God of War 3, which is my favorite. And then the Origins Collection has Ghost of Sparta and Chains of Olympians. Here is Ghostbusters. I played this game online. It is so much fun, but the story is great. Grand Theft Auto. We got Grand Theft Auto 4 and episodes of Liberty City. And Grand Theft Auto 5, of course, which is one of my favorites. Heavy Rain, my favorite game on the PS3. I talk about that. Quantic Dream. LA Noire. Mortal Kombat's Motorstorm. Motorstorm was such an awesome series. It was one of my first games for the PS3. They need to bring that series back. Of course, we got Ratchet and Clank Collection that has Ratchet and Clank 1, 2, and 3 all together on PS3. You got Crack in Time, Tools of Destruction. Resistance. Resistance is such a good game. People don't talk about Resistance. If you like Call of Duty slapped with aliens, highly recommend it. It's such a good game. And of course, Resident Evil 5. Alongside Toy Story 3, Resident Evil 6, Ridge Racer, Saints Row 2, and Saints Row the Third. Saints Row 2 is still my favorite in the series. I don't know why. I think it got a little silly, and I understand why. Starhawk video game, Dust Sleeves, thank you. Street Fighter 4. Stranglehold is another good game people don't talk about. I love this game. It's awesome martial arts action-packed game, and I thought it was a lot of fun, so I definitely recommend this. The Last of Us, excellent game. Excellent game. I had so much fun with that. And these games are more for the PlayStation Move and the Shoot. If you like the PlayStation Move, it probably is my favorite game for that. Uncharted series. Guys, I cannot emphasize how much I love the Uncharted series. This is why I love PlayStation. So many awesome exclusives. We got some custom sleeves made for my Game Boy Advance games. Some of my Game Boy Advance games. We also have some Game Boy games. And PlayStation 2 games. So Burnout 3 Takedown is my favorite in the Burnout series. There's Burnout Revenge, Burnout 2. Bully. Bully was so awesome. I played that. I stayed up late playing that game. Def Jam Fight for New York. Still my favorite Def Jam game. You got Kingdom Hearts. EJ Club World. I got 2 of those. I love playing that if you like making music. The God of War original 1 and 2. Grand Theft Autos. So you got Grand Theft Auto 3, Grand Theft Auto San Andreas, and this one is Vice City, which is probably my favorite. And that's because I'm an 80s fan. Then you got iNinja. It's so much fun. That game is humorous and it's really a good game. I recommend that as well. Indigo Prophecy, my favorite by Quantic Dream, first game I was introduced. It's the same people that made Heavy Rain, Beyond Two Souls, and Detroit Become Human. So definitely recommend Indigo Prophecy if you like games like that, decision making. Ratchet and Clank, the very first Ratchet and Clank. And then you have Going Commando, Up Your Arsenal, Scarface. Rise to Honor, guys. Freaking awesome game. Jet Li is the star of this game. So this is pretty much why I like Stranglehold. So it's the same kind of feel. Definitely awesome game. Rayman. Resident Evil 4, Resident Evil Code Veronica, Sly series, and Sonic Heroes. So here's my little watch, which I really like. It tells you the time. Exclusive T-Belly sleeve with Punch Out. Star Tropics NES Addict. Linda the Gamer Girl actually holds my OK Chief game that I got from John Riggs. And it has OK Chief signature. Mega Powers Monthly. So Captain Algebra Mega Dan 29 holding the Splatterhouse card I got from BP Retro Power. So I thought that was pretty cool. The Retro Crew dust sleeve that Chris, Video Game Dust Sleeve, made exclusive. Fanat Hole's Holy Diver. This one is so adorable. Video Game Dust Sleeve's son, Riley, made this for me. So he drew it, which is an exact replica of my dust sleeve. It has Willow. The green version of Ghostbusters 2. New Ghostbusters 2 that we did not get here in North America. And my buddy Philip, Retro Game Junkie, gave me that one. Solid Nate with the Battletoads. You gotta believe. Nefarious West with Trog. Nefarious hooked me up with that game and I love it. Captain Algebra has the Super Mario Brothers Duck Hunt. And Skater Die 2 by Do You Nerd. Over here in the corner I have a signed autograph by Wood Beat 'em Ups. To JLuv, I love you. Beat 'em Ups. Zeldies. So he gave me that at Retro World. So here are some of my NES games. I have so many, so we're gonna skip through it, but definitely one of my favorites is definitely Adventure Island. Back to the Future series, Batman. I love Batman. I still haven't beaten working on it, Boy and His Blob. Baseball, grew up with that. Bubble Bobble, Blaster Master, the Castlevania series, all three, Rescue Rangers, Contra, and Chris Video Game Dust Sleeves have made me some sleeves for some of my favorites. I thought that was pretty cool. Deja Vu, Dick Tracy. The Donkey Kong Classics 3 and Junior. Double Dragon 1 and 2. Double Dribble. DuckTales, definitely my favorite. One of my favorites. And then I got DuckTales 2. This is probably my most expensive game in the collection. So Friday the 13th. I gotta get Nightmare on Elm Street yet. Can't wait to get that one. Ghosts and Goblins, we all know how I feel about that one. Goonies 2, that's the one that we did grow up here. I did grow up with in North America. Gremlins 2, Gunsmoke. Gumshoe, you guys seen me do a playthrough of Gumshoe. So much fun with the light gun. Gyromite, one of my first games that came with my NES when I was little. So, I love ice hockey so much. Jaws was pretty decent. And Karate Kid. Nobody liked Karate Kid. I love it. I grew up playing that. I'm going to have to stream that soon. Kid Cool, Kirby's Adventure, Knight Rider, Kung Fu, Dream Master, Maniac Mansion, Mario. Mario Brothers Arcade. So this is the original Mario Brothers. Mega Man 2 is the only Mega Man game that I own and grew up with. Mike Tyson's Punch Out. The Metroid, Metal Gear. So we got blah, blah, blah. Myland Secret Castle. Woo! I talked about that. Still haven't beaten it. Ghostbuster. Here's another copy of New Ghostbusters that I believe I got at one of the conventions. And, yeah, pretty much Popeye I grew up with. Rad Racer. Renegade, RC Pro-Am, Russian Attack. I got that thanks to Megadan. Smash TV. And then we got, of course, Super Mario Brothers. We got Super Mario 3 Mix, which is a hack game. One of my favorites. Mario 2, Mario 3, Mario Duck Hunt, Skater Die. Shatterhand I got from my boy NES Addict, which I appreciate. Super C. This is the game I grew up with the most. I played this more than I played Contra. Target Renegade, I'm terrible at. Ninja Turtles, the original. I really love this game, but I am terrible at this. So the best one for me is Turtles 2 Arcade. And then you have Turtles 3. Flintstones, Rescue of Dino and Hoppy. I do not have the other one. The other one's way too much money for me right now. Little Mermaid. The two Zeldas that I grew up with. Track and Field 2, I like to play this with the NES Advantage joystick. So, this game I did grow up with. Top Gun, I still can't land the damn plane. Total Recall, Urban Champion. So, that's pretty much it for their Earthbound. BP Retro Power actually made this one for me. So, next to that, we have, thanks to Phil Twerp and my very first Dreamcast game, Power Stone. Loving it. Thank you, Phil. We got NBA 2K1, NFL 2K1, World Series Baseball 2K1, Crazy Taxi, and Sonic Adventure. So these are the Dreamcast games that I currently have. My boy Richard W got me Medieval on PlayStation 1. So I have some PlayStation 1 games, but I definitely am trying to collect a lot more. There's more on this shelf here, so I'll show you that in a minute. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles for the PlayStation 2. I gotta get the Battle of, what is the other one? The Suffering is an awesome game. The Suffering on PlayStation 2. I love that game. It was so cool. It's like you're in prison and there's like monsters and stuff like that. It's really cool. It's True Crime Streets, True Crime New York City. This is also another awesome game, I thought, for the True Crime series. I really enjoyed that. Moving right along, we got the Wii games. So we got a Super Mario All-Star, Super Paper Mario I thought was really good. And Super Smash Brothers Brawl, probably still one of my favorite Smash Brothers because of the story mode. So that's some of my Wii games. I personally love the Wii Sports. That's probably my favorite. So we got the Wii U games coming up right here. So a very small collection. Mario Kart 8, you know, Nintendo Land, Super Mario Maker, which is my favorite. Super Smash Brothers Wii U. Yoshi's Woolly World, love it. Zombie U. Some Switch games. So we got Kirby's Star Allies, Mega Man 11, Ildu 2, RBI Baseball, Super Mario Odyssey, my favorite. New Super Mario Brothers U Deluxe, Sonic Forces, Super Mario Party, Smash Brothers, of course, that I got in Nintendo New York, Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild, Ultra Street Fighter 2, and Katamari Damacy, Tiny Barbarian. I have a lot more games downloaded on the system, but moving along, we have Night Trap, Sphinx and the Cursed Mummy, Donkey Kong Tropical Freeze, Monster Boy and the Cursed Kingdom, Yoshi's Crafted World, Bayonetta 2, Gear Club Unlimited, and Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. So that is all the physical games I got on the Switch. I got my Pixel Game Squad glasses. PlayStation hat. All right, so we got some posters up here. We got the box GameCube. My personal box for my Wii U. So that's what it came with, which I thought was freaking awesome. That's the game that I got. So this is the exact Wii U that I got. So I had the Mario Brothers U and the Luigi U. DuckTales 2, that is the box that it came with. Similar like a Blockbuster box. Here is some of my Pixel Pals. I love Pixel Pals. And they all turn on. So we'll give you an overall picture. Well, there goes my favorite character in Mortal Kombat. So that is Scorpion. Lara Croft, Kratos, Ratchet, Ryu, and we got Master Chief. And the Ninja Turtle ones, I actually won this from Pixel Pals themselves. So we got the Foot Soldier, Leonardo, Shredder. We got a variation of Ryu and Raphael. We got original Xbox games here. Black is still one of my favorite games. I love that game. That game is so awesome. I just talked about the game in one of my videos, so definitely check it out if you like first-person shooters. So I don't have too much Xbox. You guys know I'm more of a PlayStation fan, but definitely a Halo fan, which is probably why I have it. So these are all my Xbox games. Saints Row. This is the original Saints Row, the first one that came out. Gears of War, Dead Rising. So we got Devil May Cry HD Collection, the Halo 3, Call of Duty World at War. So here's some of my Call of Duties. Dead Rising 3, Spider-Man, and Assassin's Creed. These are probably the newest Assassin's Creeds that I have, and I don't play it. So this is the only things I have on Xbox One. So here's some more PlayStation 1 games that I have that are hanging out here, pretty much. Some of my PS4 games, box collection, Uncharted 4, Quantic Dream Collection. So this is, I'm telling you, I love the exclusives on PlayStation. Rise of the Tomb Raider. So I have this on PS3 as well. I love this game. Thank you, BP Retro Power. It's so much fun. Mutant Muds. It is addicting. I could tell you that right now. We have Spyro the Trilogy. I thought that was pretty cool. Spider-Man, Crash Bandicoot. So Crash Insane Trilogy. Resident Evil Origins Collection. So it has Resident Evil 0 and 1. Call of Duty World War II. Ninja Turtles Mutants in Manhattan. Only Turtles game we got on PS4. Disappointed. The remastered Burnout. Uncharted Collection. So it has Uncharted 1, 2, and 3. Uncharted The Lost Legacy. Ratchet and Clank, the remake of the original. Only Ratchet and Clank on the PS4. I'm very disappointed. Wish they came out with more. Some of my Call of Duties: Until Dawn, Mega Man Legacy Collection, Doom. Need for Speed, God of War, Tomb Raider, The Last Guardian, Detroit Become Human. There you go. And here is another version of the Mutant Muds. So this is more the Super Challenge Collection. And of course, we have Resident Evil 2. Down here, we got some DS and 3DS games. So nothing really standing out. My favorite still is Luigi's Mansion. Wasn't a fan of Dark Moon. My favorite still, though, Legend of Zelda: Link Between Worlds. Absolutely. So you got the Paper Mario. And there is Super Mario 3D Land. I don't have the box for it, but I do have it. Such a good game. This one's awesome. Metroid Samus Returns, Resident Evil Revelations, some boxed Game Boy Color games. Here's an awesome book bag that T-Belly gave me. I'm going to be using this for the convention. And my little Rubik's Cube, some stuffed animals. We got some Gizmo and yeah, Sonic, Stewie. I love Family Guy. Star Fox back there, Goomba. And here we got Heathcliff. We got some old school games right here, board games. And some more stuff from my childhood. I love Heathcliff. Heathcliff was awesome. Here's some of my Mario comic books that I got, which I think is pretty neat. This one is Super Mario Adventures. These are little comics that were in the Nintendo Power series. So it's all in one. I got this at Nintendo New York. So they slapped all of that together in one book. This one is Super Mario. This is the official guide. So this is all about Mario, of course. And I've gotten random YouTubers to sign this, which I think is pretty neat. So here's my ultimate Nintendo guide to the NES library book. I got it from Pat himself at Too Many Games, which I think is pretty cool. I love learning and reading about all the games on the NES. I love looking at things like this. It's so awesome. The detail's great. And our boy Megadan's name is back here. These are from my childhood. Do you guys remember this? Scary Stories to Tell in the Dark. You got more Scary Stories. Scary Stories 3. I don't know why I was obsessed with these as a kid, because God knows I don't watch horror movies now. So once again, here is the view. So my Retron 3 that was sitting there, it actually stopped working. It blew out. Definitely blew out because there was smoke coming out of it. So I replaced it with the Super Retro Trio Plus. I have two of these now, one in the living room and one in the game room. So this is pretty much what you'll see when I'm sitting. So this is what the one side looks like. And then in here I keep my controllers and some manuals and stuff like that. A lot of my gaming magazines are in here. Rebel Gaming Club sticker. So this is pretty much the overview. And my little light up Pac-Man ghost guy. He changes color, which I think is pretty neat. And yeah, guys, so this is pretty much the game room. I hope you really enjoyed walking through memory lane with me. All right, guys, so thank you so much for joining me. I hope you enjoyed the room tour. I like it. It's pretty relaxing. So I kick back and play games here. And that's pretty much it. I like the way it came along. I hope you guys like it too. And I would like to see your collection. So let me know about your collection. If you have videos, if you want to tag me, I'm good with that. I like to see other people's collections. I always love room tours. They're my favorite. So once again, we promote positivity here on this channel. You know, with all the negativity out there, don't worry about it. Don't feed into it. Like I said, just do you. There are people that have it so much worse. Always remember that. Count your blessings, guys. And I will see you guys later.